Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching a debate between Callaghan and Churchill. I'm honored to be moderating this debate, and this will be a fascinating debate. Uh, Please help me welcome Churchill.
Thank you. I'm Winston Churchill, Governor of Iowa. Recently new to the sim, but I'm eager to show my involvement in this, and hopefully I'll win the vote for the D10 House Representative.
And please welcome
So,
Callaghan.
I'm Brian Callaghan. I'm the current incumbent for D10 House. I was the former governor of Minnesota. It's an honour to be here tonight and really get to know my opponent. There's a lot of things that we can do over the next term. There's a lot of things we can achieve. And I really hope that I can remain in office and eventually put these things into practice. Thank you.
Thank you two so much for being here. It means a lot. So we're gonna start off with a basic question, and that's what will you do if you are re-elected, or if you get elected to this position? I'm gonna start off with Churchill, since you have not held this position. I want you to tell the people what you would do for the D10, right?
of course.
Okay.
Hopefully, when I'm elected, I will be representing the newly formed American Solidarity Party. Now, we are more of a conservative nature in the group, so of course all policies put through will be non-liberal, if I can say so. I hope to work for the people of D10. I'm hoping to improve infrastructure within the state, hopefully get the hopefully get more jobs running up for the people. Not only the wealthy, but also the lower classes really need to be getting out and hopefully working for the state.
Okay. For Callahan, I will give you 30 seconds to a minute if you would like to respond to his statement.
No, I'm all right with that. I'll just go on to what I think I could do if re-elected. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
well, so far this term, I'm pretty sure I'm still the only rep that's proposed more than 7 bills. I've proposed 8. I've proposed bills on women's equality at work, equal work for equal pay. I proposed the ERA, re-proposed the ERA. I plan to continue working for a green economy, 100% green economy, which starts by tackling the levels of inequality within our society so we can then continue to build up, and really establish a working relationship between bosses and workers. The green economy all starts at the bottom. It starts with grassroots. And then we can continue on with what we've currently achieved, which I'm pretty sure is 30% renewable energy. I'll also plan to introduce a carbon tax for big corporations who are currently operating mining in my district. I'll also re-propose, and I know it's controversial, but I don't care, I'll re-propose my bill to ban nuclear weapons. It all starts with grassroots democracy from the bottom. We've got to build people together for a bigger movement, for a stronger cause, and it will always be to ban nuclear weapons, for a green economy, and to really tackle the 1% control of the country and tell them that they can't have it all. They won't rule over us forever. Corporations don't run the country, people do. And that's what I continue to really want to do.
Okay, and Churchill, would you like to respond to anything in his opening statement?
Yes, I would, please.
Go ahead, I'll give you 30 seconds. No, I'll give you a minute, excuse me.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, nuclear weapons. I do not believe in today's society that we can realistically achieve a non-nuclear platform within the global community. It is imperative that we keep our nuclear weapons not as a threat to other nations, but merely to serve as a deterrent to safeguard our nation's interests. And really, sorry, we just cannot get rid of them at any cost. I feel in doing so we would endanger the lives of our citizens. Secondly, I agree with you on proposing a greener state, and that was mainly the nuclear side.
Would I be able to respond to the nuclear?
Yes, I'll give you an additional minute.
Okay, right. We possess 7,300 nuclear warheads. We have special radar targeting facilities to launch these warheads. We have nuclear-capable submarines. We have nuclear-capable aircraft and warships. The concept of a nuclear defense umbrella is ridiculous, and it is United States defense policy to indiscriminately mass murder millions or tens of millions of people, to contaminate the global food chain and gene pool, to disrupt the global weather patterns, and to eliminate entire countries. It's government policy and it's ridiculous. Now, mutually assured destruction doesn't work. It's a suicide pact, as I've said before, and both sides would have to stay rational for decades to ensure that mutually assured destruction wouldn't happen. There can't be accidents, slip-ups, strategic miscalculations, malfunctions, and we can't rely on MAD forever. So
Okay, your
that's just
time
my
just
point.
ended. We'll move on to another topic, and that topic will be the economy. I'll start off with Callaghan now. What is your plan to create jobs and to sustain jobs in D10 in your D10 district?
Well, my economic plan is a mixed economy of public and social enterprise, so a private sector with a long-term private business commitment. And in the past, we've just seen too much economic orthodoxy by candidates, and it isn't working. We need a new economy that starts by tackling grotesque levels of inequality within society, an economy that ensures every young person has the opportunities to maximize their talent. We need an economy that delivers new, more democratic forms of ownership and a zero carbon economy that protects the environment. I've already said my open support for a green economy, 100% renewable economy, one where we can save our natural environment around us. We need to build an economy for the future, and it requires bold ambition, and I know I have it. I believe that wealth creation is a good thing. We all want greater prosperity in the end of it, but we need to have a serious debate about how wealth is created and how it should be shared. I really do support the idea of basic universal income. Trickle-down economics just doesn't work. It's been proven not to work. We have seen a larger gap between the 1% and the 99%. It's just been growing for years, and it's not got any better. And we really do need to start creating jobs by investing in the renewable energy sector, but by also cooperating with unions. And now everyone knows I'm a massive union activist in the game. I've constantly fought for union rights, for workers' rights, but we need cooperation between businesses and unions for all of this to work in the first place. And my plans are clearly outlined in every speech that I've given, which I have been giving since the 26th of September, I'm pretty sure. And it's just simple cooperation between bosses and union bosses that will create more jobs in my district. It will create jobs around the country, and it's how we will continue to really give prosperity back to the people.
Thank you, Callaghan. Churchill, I want you to have your platform, say your platform to the people, and make sure to read the Skype comment that I just left.
Okay. Well, firstly, I do agree that the poverty line between the 1% and those who really suffered most in our society needs to end. But what I propose is that we reduce taxes on large corporations to give them the flexibility to invest back into the country and back into their own and other businesses around them, which will help sustain and improve jobs within our country. Secondly, I do wish for a larger armed forces. I do believe that this will this will help. I just lost my line with that. Ignore that comment. I want to see more people in jobs. There's 7 million more people in our society who have gone below the poverty line. This needs to stop. I believe that we need more people in the state services, emergency services, as the police, firefighters. Recently, after seeing the riots that have taken place widespread across the country. Right, yeah.
Right. I'll just give a rebuttal on that. But the thing is, I don't support lower taxes on corporations. I don't support high taxes either. I support moderate taxes on them. The reason why is I don't think that a corporation owner, CEO, should pay a lower tax rate than a nurse. It's frankly wrong, and corporations should be made to pay their fair share of tax if they want to operate on our soil. It's not a real case of if they want to. It's not a real case that they'll move anywhere else, because they will get a lot of things out of our country if they abide by the rules like everyone else. I know Jake Walker can't be here tonight, but he was making the case for creating a second tax code for corporations, which I don't agree with, because it would create more tax loopholes for them, and it's just really not the right way to go. I think we're talking about military spending, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Again, scale back military spending. It's the biggest part of our budget when we could be spending it on more needed things like transport, energy, the environment, labour. We could be spending it on more things that could benefit the people, but instead we waste it on military spending. We spend more than the next 28 countries combined, and 26 of those countries are our allies. There's no real point in it. And to be honest, if we scale that back, if we raise taxes on the corporations, not high, moderate, we can start to create prosperity and wealth for all in the country. Thank you.
Yes, I see your point there. The thing is, a nation as great as ours, and you said yourself how much money we do spend on the armed forces, but I do think it is incredibly sad that a superpower of the world, and many of our allies combined, can still not defeat the scum of ISIS. These are men operating in the middle of the desert with not nearly the payments that we are giving to our soldiers, and we can't even destroy them. Now, secondly, I do say that more government spending could be spent on greener environments and such, and I do support a bill to make companies spend and pay more attention to what they are actually doing to the environment, whether it be polluting waters with their factories, or I don't know, if they're car industries like BMW did with cheating on their carbon emissions. That does need to stop, but I don't think it should get in the way of industrial progress within our nation.
Okay, we're gonna Callaghan, do you really want to respond?
No, I'm all right.
Okay, we're gonna move on to another subject, and that subject is going to be renewable energy.
Brilliant.
What can you do, and what is your plan for renewable energy and D10 district? And we're gonna hand this to Churchill.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen the picture of the map going around recently that shows the wind speeds around the country, and I think we can really benefit from this, because the wind speeds would allow wind turbines to be placed around the country and generate energy for us. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
Sorry, what was that? Never mind. Yeah, so as I was saying, I support wind turbines, and they can do a lot for us. Nuclear power also, a game changer. Lately, with new technology coming out, I do support it, but it must be viable to our economy and actually show its worth compared to the fossil fuel alternatives, which quite possibly it isn't up to at the current moment. So I don't think it should be prioritized in government spending until it can be solidified its usefulness for our country.
Callaghan, go ahead.
Well, basically, I've always supported renewable energy since my days in TFON. It's always been a big thing close to my heart, protecting the environment, creating renewable energy sources. There has been a map going around recently of the, I think it's Secretary of Energy, don't count me on that, has talked about, well, basically creating coal mines in my district. I come from a coal mining family, but I'm completely opposed to it because as much as it does create jobs in the district, it harms the environment. These men could be employed at hydroelectrical plants, they could be employed at wind farms, but coal is an outdated fossil fuel, and eventually we will run out of it. So I'm totally opposed to coal in my district, and if I'm re-elected, I'll get rid of it. But I will make sure that the men who are employed at these mines do get re-employed. They do get re-employed in the energy sector, so it's in a sector that they know what they're doing. I will also attempt to get rid of fracking operations in my area, oil drilling operations, and I am completely 100% opposed to nuclear power. And the main reason why, we've seen episodes like in Fukushima, we've seen them in Chernobyl, and we've seen them at 3 Mile Island in, I think, Pennsylvania. Don't count me on that. But we've seen episodes there where almost entire cities, towns have been made uninhabitable for decades and centuries because of malfunctions, and these malfunctions in some cases cannot be prevented. Nuclear power isn't safe. It may be reliable and it may be a good source of energy. I'm not going to discredit it on that, but it's just not safe, and we cannot really make it safe until we've got the proper precautions to do so. And at the moment,
Mr. Callaghan,
that's
you
not
are
happening.
at a 10-second mark.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so, Mr. Churchill, I'm going to give you enough time to speak, but I just want to make a confirmation. Callaghan, you're saying that you are going to re-employ, if I'm correct, coal miners
Yep.
if their jobs are lost from your policies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
100%.
Churchill, I want you to actually respond to the confirmation, and then I want you to give your platform or rebuttal him.
Okay. I do think that your plan for hydroelectric and re-employing the coal miners is a good idea, but wiping out the coal industry in the district is just not fathomable for myself, because many industrialists employing many, and I know you said you're going to re-employ them, but the money that they're providing for our district, the opportunities, and bringing in more companies, I can't ignore that. You said you're completely against nuclear power. You stated multiple accidents. I recognise that. But it does have low operating costs after the initial build. It's cheap to maintain. It's got low carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere. There's known technology on the market. I think this would be a much more viable source for renewable energy. However, I don't want to get rid of coal industry in the district. I don't want to get rid of oil industry in the district. Those cannot happen in the near future. Maybe in an idealistic future when everything can be run off solar powers on cars, I don't know. But right now, it's not going to happen.
Can I just give a quick reply?
We really have to move on, but I'll give you a quick reply.
Right, thanks. In the north of UK in the 1980s, Margaret Thatcher closed a lot of coal mines. She put a lot of men out of work. I would never want to do that to working people because I stand by unions and not against them. The big problem that we have, though, is it's going to cost us a lot to dig coal out of the ground, and at what profit are we going to get? That's the thing. The coal industry I think it's only in South Dakota, is a very small area, and it's not exactly going to make a lot of profit. So if we are employing these men, but they're not making profit, there's no point in keeping the mines open when we could just close them and get them re-employed straight away. I've always been a union person. I'll stand by union workers, and I don't want to see them unemployed because I've seen the effects that it has on communities, the effects that it has on people, and it's not fair or right. So,
Perfect. You just ended right in time. So, our next topic is very important, and it can decide probably your election. Taxes. What is your plan on taxes? Are you going to raise taxes, lower taxes, and if you're going to lower taxes, on what class? And if you're going to rise taxes, in what class? So I just wanted you guys to answer that question, and then we'll go to closing statements. I'll give this to Callaghan.
okay then. Well, I would I'd abolish the sales tax. That is just, I'll get that out there. I'd abolish the sales tax. I'd propose, a bill to abolish the sales tax because I don't support it. It's not really liable, and in some states we could end up with a 10% sales tax, which is absolutely ludicrous. I would raise taxes on corporations, not to an extent that it's completely ridiculous, to a fair extent, which would basically keep them in the country, keep them operating, but at the same time making sure they pay their fair share. However, it would be a different case for the people who earn over $3.5 million a year, who would pay 40% of that in tax. But then those people who earn 200 million, say, they'd pay the same. It would be over 3.5 million, you pay 40%. Under 3.5 million, you wouldn't have a flat tax. I'd go, people who earn under $30,000 would pay no tax whatsoever. People who earn between 30 and 100,000 would pay 6%. I'd say 6% income tax because it's fair. And 100 to a million, we'd go nowhere 6% to 10%. It wouldn't be an exact. It wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be unfair on the working and middle class. I'm not anti-working and middle class. I really disagree with the 1% exploiting them. The 1% need to pay more tax. The 1% should be the ones who are paying more. I think it's disgusting that a nurse pays more tax rate than a CEO of a hedge fund in some cases. So tax plans completely and utterly on the top 1% would be tight, and then lower income earners, we'd be very lenient.
Okay, Churchill.
Okay, I do see what you're saying, and I agree with the fact that a nurse is having to pay more tax than an extremely wealthy man. I do want to cut taxes overall, mainly on the private sector, as I've said, to allow more growth within the industries, give them more, let's say, breathing room on what they want to invest in, quite possibly whether they want to invest in more renewable sources. Linking back to that thing we said earlier, I do want to propose lower taxes, as I said, but I want to keep the welfare state. Basic rates, I guess, at 20% is okay. Higher rates, 40%, and additional rates, 45%. I think that's not too bad. And yes, on wealth, you should be paying slightly more tax. I do agree with that.
Okay,
Can I just make a really quick rebuttal on that?
Callaghan, I will
To be honest,
I'll give you 30 seconds to rebuttal.
the welfare state, I would instead look at the possibility of establishing universal basic income. It's actually much less costly than the welfare state. Once all the bureaucracy's done away with and everything, it can be fit for work tests, it can be fit for sanctions, middle management costs. Everyone gets paid whether they're in employment or not. And we can eliminate poverty in America. This extra money, which would be spent bailing out the 1%, bailing out Wall Street, could actually be used to grow the economy. What's not to like about that? It's perfectly logical.
Okay. Churchill, I'll give you an additional 30 seconds if you want to rebuttal.
No, I think I'll just leave it at that. I think.
Okay. And
sorry to just come in here. I'd like to talk about the recent protests and riots that have been going on, if that could be a possible point of question.
Yes, we can do that. But I would like to have this under 30 to 35 minutes. We've been 25 minutes. So
yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a minute and only a minute for each of you to talk about the riots.
Okay.
I'll let Churchill go.
Okay. I completely condemn the actions of the rioters. This was not acceptable in the country. I don't care what they're standing for. Riots are not the way to do it. This is dragging the populace into unfair combat in the streets, protecting their homes, their families, and their livelihood. It is hardly acceptable. I want to crack down hard on those that are found guilty of partaking in them, and I do not want to see anything like this happen again. I especially see my state of Iowa has been deeply affected by these riots in the second wave. They've been destroying government buildings, attacking anyone they see. It is not acceptable.
Okay. Thank you. Callaghan, you have 1 minute.
Right. I 100% support peaceful protests and the right to protest. It's a basic human right. But you've got to be peaceful in what you do. You either be peaceful or you don't do it at all. I led protests against the Solidarity Party when they were still called the Authoritarian Party, because I do not agree with them. The Black Lives Matter movement do not agree with them. I disagree with their militant aim towards it. I was the protest organizer for the anti-authoritarian pact, which in the end became militant. I left them. But the thing is, the flag which fluttered over Dachau and Belsen 70 odd years ago is now fluttering over America in the form of the Solidarity Party. And to be honest, I 100% support protesting them. I won't be taking any more action against them because I'm an elected official. But if you're going to protest, you've got to be peaceful in what you're doing. It's my actions which ended up becoming riots, I completely condemn, and I will always condemn violence as a means to get points across. Thank you.
Okay, your minute was just up. Thank you. Because this debate was a last minute debate, we don't have so many topics, and I like to keep this video under 35 minutes. So we're going to go into closing statements, and we're going to start with Callaghan. You have 1 minute.
We have three possible choices at the election. We have a choice of the current plan, the plan which is delivered on promises, a green economy. It's delivered on equal rights. I'm continuing to do it even now. We have the option of Jake Walker, the failed presidential candidate, or we have the option of my current opponent. These three options present different paths we can take for the country. Growth, sustainability, and everything in between is included in each one of these. But the case for mine is clear. If you want a stronger country, then vote Callaghan. If you want universal healthcare, vote Callaghan. If you want equal rights, vote Callaghan. If you want this country to remain a great place for everybody...
Did you just get cut off?
Did I? What happened?
Hello?
Oh, Can you still hear me? Yeah? All right, okay. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, just interrupted a really inspirational thing. But yeah, just in short, if you want the country to remain a stable country, then stick to the plan and stick with Callaghan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry, I
Callaghan.
just got cut.
Churchill,
I got cut off there. But yes.
you have 1 minute.
Okay. I want change. No messing about. I want change from the current leader, Callaghan. As he said, there are two opponents, himself, the current, or Jake Walker. I present my bid on behalf of the American Solidarity Party. We want to offer change and solidarity. We want people to know that they will be safe from these riots, from any, bills that Callaghan has proposed. But I want the people to know that I have my heart, my mind, and my feelings in my campaign to win for change. The long, hard rigors of campaigning are going to be long, but this will not deter me. These people need the change from Callaghan. I don't know. I know what he's been doing. Sorry. The movements he's been involved in, I don't think are right for a government official to be recognise himself with these pacts against other parties. As you said, it's against the right for free speech. I want victory for my party and in the sim, and the long road to the D10 representative will be my ultimate goal until I succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, both candidates, Churchill and Callaghan, for debating today. You have a lot of courage because not a lot of people on EGS like to do Skype debates, but I thank you guys so much. It's been a great debate. I wish
Thank you.
good luck to both of you, and whoever wins, I hope you do good for D10.
Well, thank you both.